Whenever the conversation about AI and work comes up, it almost always gets stuck on one big question. How many jobs are we going to lose? But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? Today, let's go way beyond that simple story and dig into a much smarter way to think about AI's impact, using a really powerful framework from Gartner.
Okay, so let's just tackle this head on. Is the whole story of AI really just about replacing people? Well, the short answer is absolutely not. The reality is so much more complex, so much more dynamic, and honestly, a whole lot more interesting than just cutting headcount.
So, the core idea we're going to unpack here is what Gartner calls ripple effects. I want you to think about deploying AI not like flipping a switch, but like dropping a stone into a pond. That initial splash, the automation you planned for, that part's predictable. But it's the ripples, the ones that spread out and out, that can change the entire shape of your workforce, your team dynamics, and even your whole business model in ways you just didn't see coming.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down exactly what these unexpected ripple effects are. Then, we'll get into a great framework that helps you plan for them. We'll explore the 4 big scenarios for your workforce that pop out of this framework, see how it all works with a real-world example, and then we'll wrap up with why you absolutely have to plan for every single one of these outcomes. All right, Section 1, AI's unexpected ripple effect. Look, the most important thing to get here is that whatever you think your AI plan is right now, that's just the starting line. The real work, the hard work, is about thinking through and planning for everything that comes next. The key phrase here is downstream consequences. This isn't just random stuff happening. It's a chain reaction. You automate one little task, and it doesn't just poof, make the work disappear. No, it changes the jobs of the people who used to do it, it changes the jobs of the managers who oversaw it, and it even changes the work for the teams that depended on it. These are those hidden, unanticipated changes that you've got to get out in front of.
So, the big question is, how do you get ahead of these ripples instead of just getting swamped by them? Well, you need a map. And that brings us to Section 2, a framework for planning that's built on 2 really simple but incredibly powerful ideas that shape AI's true impact on work.
And here they are. It's actually so elegant. On one axis, you've got AI's autonomy. Just think of it as, how much leash are you giving the AI? How much work do you let it do on its own? Then on the other axis, you have work transformation, and that's simply how much does the job itself actually change from what it used to be. Just about every single AI project you can think of fits somewhere on this grid.
Okay, now let's move on to Section 3, because this is where it gets really cool. When you take those 2 drivers and plot them against each other, you get 4 very distinct workforce scenarios. And these aren't just some theoretical boxes on a chart. They represent 4 very real, very possible futures for your teams.
Let's walk through them. First up, Scenario 1, fewer workers. This is the one everybody defaults to. Using AI to do the same old work just with fewer people. Then you've got Scenario 2, many busy workers. Here, AI is like a super tool, helping your current team do more of the same stuff, but way better and way faster. Scenario 3, many innovative workers. This is where it gets exciting. Humans and AI are actually collaborating to change the work itself, creating totally new value. And finally, Scenario 4, few to no workers. This is the big one, an AI-first model where the work is totally transformed and highly automated.
I know, that can all feel a little abstract. So for this next section, let's make it real. We're going to run a little thought exercise with the department that we all get, customer service. Okay, so picture this. A company has a pretty simple goal. They want to use AI chatbots to handle all the easy, basic customer questions so they can reduce the number of human agents they have. I mean, that is a classic Scenario 1 plan, right? The AI does more work, but the work itself, answering questions, is the same. This is the initial splash in the pond.
But wait, here comes the first ripple. See, those AI assistants, they don't just run themselves. All of a sudden, the company realizes, whoa, we need a whole team of people to monitor the AI, to train it, to handle all the things it messes up. So the number of people answering boring calls might go down, but the number of people managing this new, complex AI system goes up. And just like that, they've been pulled right into Scenario 2, many busy workers.
And the ripples don't stop there. So who do you think are the best people to teach the AI how to handle the really tricky, nuanced customer problems? It's the company's most experienced reps, of course. So their job isn't just about taking calls anymore. It's about AI training, it's about product development, it's about strategy. The very nature of their work has totally transformed. And boom, that's a hard shift into scenario 3, many innovative workers.
And this final ripple, this one can change the entire business. With the AI handling all the boring routine stuff, the company realizes its super-skilled human agents are now free to do proactive outreach, turning service calls into sales opportunities. The whole department transforms from a cost center into a revenue-generating machine. And that starts pushing right into the territory of Scenario 4, a totally transformed AI-first operation.
And that example brings us to the single most important lesson in this whole thing. And it's captured perfectly in this quote from Gartner. Even if you plan for one scenario, ripple effects often trigger the need to support all 4. You start out just trying to automate in scenario 1, but you end up needing to manage in 2, innovate in 3, and transform your business in 4. And often, you're doing all of it at the exact same time.
Which leads us right to our final section, planning for every outcome. I mean, it should be crystal clear by now that a framework like this isn't just some interesting academic exercise. In the age of AI, it's an absolutely critical, must-have tool for strategic planning. So what does this actually do for you? Well, for starters, using a framework like this lets you anticipate change instead of just constantly reacting to it. It forces you to align your hiring and your training with what you're actually trying to do with the tech. It helps you avoid those huge blind spots that can totally derail a project. And maybe most importantly, it forces you to think beyond just simple automation and see the deeper, more complex, and honestly way more valuable transformations that are just waiting to happen.
So, we'll leave you with this one question to really think about for your own team, for your own organization. You're almost certainly planning for one AI scenario right now, probably the most obvious one. But are you really, truly prepared for the ripples? Because whether you're ready for them or not, they're already on their way.